Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me. I'm laughing. I shouldn't laugh, especially in light of what's happening here. Tuesday, January 16th, 2024, post market report. People, I have to say this. Although, I mean, this is kind of interesting. The title of my video from this morning: Expect Imminent U.S. and Coalition Strikes in Yemen and the Middle East. And here's why. I honestly did not expect it to happen during market hours today. So, yes, in case you don't know, the United States and its coalition partners here are now, as we speak, bombing targets in Yemen. This is interesting to me. It's a change of strategy or tactics, or we don't see this. This is very, very unusual. Now, looking back on the market this morning, and we covered the dollar, that knee jerk into the dollar this morning. The market was smelling fear. Well, that turned out to be a lot worse throughout the day. The dollar today, on a relative strength basis, finished almost a percentage point higher. You know, you could smell these kinds of things, but again, this took me by surprise. This isn't a clear escalation in my view. You don't see these kinds of things happen. They don't happen generally during market hours. It's after market hours, weekends, holidays. The Federal Reserve and the Pentagon, whoever's putting this whole damn thing together, they try to protect the market. As you can see what happened today. All right, the market didn't like this. This will turn around. It wasn't so much that the stock market or the major, indices fell today. It was the 10-year yield, 4.06. Okay, the market needs to calm down a little bit. This will turn out to go the opposite way, in my view, if these attacks continue, and they will. I mean, this is escalating, quite obviously. For this to happen right now, during the day, while the market's open, something's going on. Okay, so we'll see how the market swallows this. Knee-jerk higher into the dollar. Okay. That did hit gold and silver today. Crude put on a little gain. Cryptocurrencies didn't do much. Bitcoin still sitting at about 43,000. All right, that's the story. So, this is a newsletter that I sent out to all of you when I found out about this. I want to thank actually, my friend Paul sent me something interesting today about that Greek cargo ship that was apparently hit by the Houthis. Yeah, they hit that. Now, what they're doing here, okay, it's interesting. Bloomberg, Fox Business, CNBC, CNN, they're all doing the same script is now being handed out. They're talking about how now that shipping costs are going to skyrocket. That's their words, not even mine. And I use that all the time. Thank you, Jeffrey. Those costs are going to be passed on to you. So they're talking about inflation. See, they can't, this is being used as a cover-up. It's a cover story for what, again, the Federal Reserve and central banks have already started. This can't be stopped. No amount of raising rates or anything else is really going to be able to prevent inflation from moving higher. Can't do it. All these extra bills, in whatever form they exist, mostly digital, are now chasing a lesser amount of goods. It can't be stopped, and they knew this. You and I have been speaking about that exact phenomenon since it started with QE1, QE2 operations. It was actually not QE1. QE1, if you remember when the whole thing started, we were out here talking. Some of you have been with me that long. Anyway, look, that's just all behind us now. But they can't stop it, and nor do they want to. Again, central banks want to inflate. They want to vastly inflate, and they're going to do so. But now they're looking for scapegoats. It's war. It's problems with regard to shipping costs, because now they have to bypass the Red Sea or wherever the freak they got to go, and those costs are going to be passed on to you. They're going to blame Houthis, and they're going to blame whoever else. But they can't, again, anything to deflect people looking upon the Federal Reserve here. You understand? Because again, when vomitous mass puke Powell stands before a congressional committee and they lick his feet. Thank you, sir, for your service. Honestly, they worship the man as he walks into, they should roll out the red carpet and throw rose petals for him. The man walks into the room and everything, they genuflect in whatever it is, That's just the way it goes here these days. Again, it's the Fed that's running the show. They are the government. Everything else is just a sideshow. You all know that. And just again, don't lose sight of the fact that whoever they put behind the Resolute desk here is going to play their game. I don't care what you may think. That's where it's going to go. Thank you, Matthew. And it's not me. It's all of you. Look, all of you here are way, way, way smarter than me. You all knew this. I have to say, though, that I was a little, when I put this expect imminent U.S. and coalition strikes in Yemen, I didn't even think it would come today. I thought maybe tomorrow, but I didn't expect it during market hours. I honestly did not. It just doesn't happen. So this is a clear escalation, and it's not pretty. And I wrote earlier, and you have this in your inbox, and I outlined clearly as a general rule, the U.S. attacks targets during off-market hours as to not upset the market. But today, in a turn of events or a turn in strategy, the U.S. is hitting new targets during market hours. Kind of interesting, if you ask me. Let's move. Let's talk about the news. Well, actually, let's start off with this. On the economic front, this is huge. No surprise to anybody. No surprise to me. But it's kind of interesting. So the New York Fed Empire State Business Indicator Index. People, when I say like words like crater and like fell off of a cliff, I mean this thing literally like vaporized. We are so deep in the negative right now. Any reading below 0 is contraction. We're now at minus 43. Okay. It's contracting faster. The economy is melting down faster as it's meant to do. Patrick, thank you. Appreciate that. You see what's going on here? All right. This is no surprise to anyone. I did multiple titles of videos. The economy is cratering faster. This is going to accelerate. I mean, it's right here. And then we get this. So Federal Reserve President Wallet, whatever, what do you want to call this thing? He's another creature that I can't possibly stand. And how about Steve Leisman? Look at that face. Can you see that face on Steve here? Yeah. This is a CNBC. So again, I want you to pay attention to the wording because the wording here is very important. So the Federal Reserve is saying that economic data is almost as good as it gets, but this is what whatever it is, actually said. Are you ready? Economic data for the Fed is almost as good as it gets. What do we know the Fed is doing? What do we know that central banks around the world are doing in concert? Destroying the economy. I mean, we just found out again, business activity literally, it's done. It's over and it's finished. But then we get this here. Oh, the economic data is almost as good as it gets. He means for the Fed, because the Fed, in his wording, the little slip of the tongue right there. For the Fed, this is what they want to see. The Federal Reserve is destroying the economy by design. Period. They're destroying the current system. They have to bring it down first to issue in their new system. This is what central banks are doing around the world. So here we get a little bit of truth, and you got Steve Leisman over here. Steve, dude, really, come on now, please. All right, whatever. You can't make this stuff up. It's impossible to do. So anyway, this is also with Steve's face in your inbox if you subscribe to my free newsletter, link below. So today, no surprise to any of us, we find out that U.S. business activity is in the literal free fall, contracting at its fastest pace ever, more so than the scamdemic. Okay. Now, this is what President Waller had to say about it. Economic data for the Fed is almost as good as it gets. If you can understand, this is what I went on to say, what the Fed is successfully doing, and that is to destroy both the economy and consumer, creating slaves to the system, dependency on the system. You and I have been talking about this all freaking long. Well, then, of course, the economic data for the Fed is almost as good as it gets. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Really, you can't. Oh, here's another thing. Are you paying attention to all the announcements of mass layoffs? It's coming. I mean, on top of business activity falling off of a cliff, you and I outlined this before, we talked about it already. This is no surprise as to what is coming down the pike. We are moving into something yet to be defined. Forget about recession. Again, you got it. Hi, I'm yelling now. I got my diaper on. It's liquid. all the liquidity talks, which, of course, that's a complete lie. Liquidity is drying up faster than you can possibly imagine. But she's going on to say, "Oh, soft landing, soft landing, soft landing." She's soft landing. She hasn't seen anything hard in probably quite a long time. Maybe she forgot. But anyway, people sometimes I get a little nutty here. Anyway, it's just done. There's no soft landing. We are crashing. The economy is crashing, and you don't take my word for it. Listen to the Federal Reserve itself. Business activity, it's just done. Oh, but it's as good as it gets for the Fed. Make that up. Now here's another thing here, and this is again no surprise to anyone. So office loans, I want you to be ready for this. And we've spoken about it already, but just sit down for a nanosecond if you're not. Okay, sit down. So loan defaults with regard to loans for office space skyrocketing. Now it's 6.5% and going much, much higher. But let me explain this to you as clearly as I possibly can. These banks, these institutions that have supplied these loans, which are now going bad, they're going to get bailed out. And why are they going to get bailed out? Because it was scamdemic. It caused this is why. So they shouldn't be held responsible for making bad loans. So you're going to pay for it all. Yeah, you and me. You think we're not? Oh, wait till you see what's coming down the pike, people. You just don't even know. It's crazy. So yeah, it's just crazy. It's historic. Business activity makes a historic fall. History has been made today, and of course, mass layoffs. No surprise to anyone. It's just crazy. What else is on here, man? Oh yeah, the consumer is fine, according to J.P. Morgan. No one said I was normal. I think normal is way, way, way overrated. What about you? Anyway, people, are we there? You and me, are we there yet? Are we up to speed on what's happening? I think we are. And the funny look, this stuff really, really, as much as we, like I start out these videos laughing, and I'm sure you laugh too. And sometimes I can't control myself with things that I do. It's honestly true. Hey, that rhymes, but it's not really funny because every manner of deception, lie, distraction is being used against the people. You and I, you see, we're out there. We're disconnected from the mind control, from the television. We're not being programmed. The programming. I was on today earlier with Liberty and Finance. We did a nice interview earlier today. We were talking about the conditioning, how it starts at an extremely young age, and how the mind gets conditioned into the lies, the deceptions, the distractions, and the falsehoods, the untruths. And people tend to get very angry when they hear the truth, but not all of you. All of you get it, and I love that. I think we've started a movement here, and I think it's something good. I wish we could grow this thing. Again, if I were eating Tide Pods, licking toilet bowls, I don't know, sniffing dirty armpits or something along those lines, I'd have millions and millions and millions and millions of subscribers. But because I'm out here trying to outline this stuff for everybody, in what's going on, again, people have just been so whacked out. Oh, anyway, it's Nathan. The crash isn't soon. The crash is now. Doesn't mean the stock market's going to crash. Again, more easy money is going to be poured in here. The mechanism of a war, government spending here, Fed is going to cut rates moving forward. This is going to prop up this market. The faster this goes down. Today was an anomaly in that, again, bombings, attacks on targets in Yemen during the market. Market didn't like it. Market doesn't like it. That's why they generally do these things afterwards. I mean, this is really an anomaly. It's an escalation, clearly. And let's see where this goes. Is this going to be daytime bombing raids like they did in World War II? It's not going to stop. As you and I have discussed over and over, this is going to go on and get bigger and bigger and bigger until, again, and this is not too far off, till Iran itself has missiles and bombs dropped on it. That's who they want. That's the target, is to send a message to the BRICS. That's what this is all about, okay? It's politics playing out. The Fed is sending a message here, Okay, and they're going to draw more nations in here. They're going to draw Iran in. This is all, look, you and I have covered this since it started. The BRICS alliances, especially now with OPEC nations now joining the BRICS nations, this is a direct threat to the petrodollar. They won't allow it to happen. Do you know how many people they've already killed in wars they've started just to establish the fiat monetary system, the debt-based economic model? They'll kill it. They'll kill half the world population before they give up. Half the world population will die before they give this up, and they'll sacrifice it. They'll make up every excuse in the book. Oh, it's to protect this. It's to do that. Whatever they got to sell people, they got to make you afraid of it, like they're trying to do now. Wait till they start flashing the, death to America. They look at little kids dressed up in combat uniforms, holding an AK-40. They do this all the time. You've seen it before. This is not new. This is a tactic. They're going to roll it out. They're looking through their playbooks right now, how they're going to sell this to the American people. And if the American people don't accept it, then there will be a terror attack right here on American soil. They're already preparing people for that too. And then, of course, blame it's the Houthis, it's to these, it's to that, it's the terror cells, it's the open borders, it's whatever it is. They're going to blame it on something, make you afraid of it, and then, kill everyone. That's what they're doing here. Another freaking scamdemic. Yeah, absolutely. Anything they're going to do. Again, that's what they're going to do. Anyway, look, Coco, no, Coco's eating. I will bring Coco out. I promise I will. Anyway, you guys and girls want to talk about anything in particular before we go? Exactly, Vicky. You're 100% on target with this. And that's what they're doing. It's a setup. They're setting up all the excuses right now as to why we're going to have more inflation. It's unbelievable. It's this person's fault. It's the Houthis' fault. It's the war. Anything to get people to think about what's actually going on. And our politicians, you think a single one of them, any of them right now are going to talk about this? Absolutely not, because they must keep you dumbed down. Imagine if we had, I don't know, someone real actually running for president. First of all, it doesn't matter who they put the Resolute desk. You know that. Behind the Resolute desk, this is all a show. It's a sideshow. But look, this will never happen anymore. It's just over. The system is dead and buried, unfortunately. Parasites and vampires, Joe. You're 100% right. It's your birthday, Lord Humongous? Happy birthday. Is that really true? Come on. This guy is fantastic. He really is. Been with me a long. Look, people. Let's do this together. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Lord Humongous. Happy birthday to you. And yes, you rule. You rule. Anyway, this is awesome. Who is a scammer? Anyway, not Lord Humongous. He's not a scammer. This guy, I got his back, and he's got mine. All right, look, people. I am gonna end this here. We covered a lot. I want to thank you for those thumbs up here. People, look, we don't pull, you and me, we don't pull this stuff we talk about here out of a hat. We're raising our awareness. We're paying attention to what's going on here. We know what's going on because we know what they want, and it's not going to stop, okay? Central banks, they run the world. I don't care. It's not run by presidents, kings, queens, monarchs, or dictators. There's no self-representation or representative government. It's the central banks who have put this into effect over a century ago. You want to do yourself a favor right now? Go buy The Creature from Jekyll Island and understand what's happening to you. And that's just one avenue. I mean, most of the stuff that you need to know, people, is online. This is what I'm doing here is trying to raise awareness as to what's happening here, what central banks are doing. You all know that. Anyway, look, I'm going to get going before this video gets too freaking long. Thank you all for your support, your love, your friendship, those thumbs up. You're amazing, all of you. I declare Lord Humongous Day. Absolutely freaking lutely. Look at this, dude. You see how many people love you? This is a family here, people. We have created something real. We honestly have. I am so proud of that. Anyway, I will see all of you in the morning. Just as always, be ready for anything. Okay, I know you are. You hear this stuff. You're not surprised. You're not shocked. Business activity gone, going down the toilet faster, economic meltdown. The market's still going up. People have been asking me, Greg, are you still long? You still long the market? I am still long the market. I am looking for reasons to get longer the market. That's the truth. Okay. Anyway. that's it, people. All right. See you in the morning. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. You promise? Take it easy.